Hello everyone, we are the two CEO of the MCU.
So you're probably wondering what the MCU is. Well, it's the company that we created. To be brief, our program helps you to find a university in Mexico.
First of all, the idea of creating this company came to us when we noticed that in the last few years more and more students were trying to study abroad. But before the COVID-19, it was more than 5 million students who were trying to study in another country.
Indeed, nowadays it's much easier to study wherever we want, thanks to the internet and all the information you can get about the country, the living condition, or also with the feedbacks and experiences of some people. But also thanks to the quality of education that can be better.
But before talking to you about colleges, let's clear a few things up. You may have received many ideas such as Mexico is poor and developed and dangerous, in a country where there is nothing to do. All these aspects came from movies or what we found in Mexico a long time ago, but it has changed a lot.
For example, the first idea is Mexico is a poor country. So already yes, the life is cheaper in Mexico. We count about 2.56 euro for a can of Coke in France and 0.78 euro in Mexico. That is to say, more than 3 times cheaper. For the rest, yes, there are poor people, but not only. And that brings us to the second idea, Mexico is a non-developed country. We must admit that some parts of Mexico are in development, but many cities like the capital Mexico City are similar to the big French or American metropolises, as you can see on these pictures. As for the dangerousness of Mexico, you can see that the number of murders per 100,000 inhabitants in Mexico City is approximately equal to the number of murders in Los Angeles, and it is far below some cities like New Orleans or Baltimore. And finally, there are many things to see in Mexico, like all the Inca temples, which are a real treasure for the country. You have here examples of temples like Chichen Itza, Tulum, Uxmal, but there are many more. You can also visit cenotes, which are natural underground pools that looks really wonderful. Or take a tour with crocodiles or pink flamingos in the Mexican rivers. For me, Mexico is one of the countries with the most places to visit.
Now what about education? Since we've seen that Mexico is not only considered, but also is one of the most affordable countries in the world, it will be way easier to save money for your tuition fees. Next, if you choose to go in a public school, the tuition fee would be between 400 euro and 900 euro, while private ones will be more between 1000 and 16,000. Thinking about having private colleges which tuition fees go near 1000 euro makes it really affordable for students who may not have that much money to spare. Then, remember that you can also find any type of education you prefer or need. If you prefer having a teacher in front of you and meeting new friends all along your scholarship, then going in a university with a face-to-face education is the right one. But if you have problems to commute or if you don't have time to go back and forth between your home and the university, some colleges offer virtual classes. By choosing online class, you can have your own schedule. It means having more time for your interests or to go out. And when it comes to courses in Mexico, the most chosen masters are business and management, computer science and IT, or also engineering and technology. But in fact, there's many other courses offered by the universities of Mexico.
Afterwards, you have to know that the higher education of Mexico has some of the best quality education in America. So, if you are worried about finding a good university or college in Mexico, don't stress. There's many out there. Some of them are even ranked in the top 300 over 25,000 universities in the world. I need to mention that study programs are usually offered in Spanish, but many universities still provide English courses like the one mentioned afterward. For example, we have the #1 University of Mexico, the National Autonomous University of Mexico. It is first known all over the country for welcoming around 330,000 students per year, thanks to their 12 campuses, and the main campus is 7.2 km long. This university is around the top 200 in the global ranking, whereas it is a public school and usually the one ranked higher are private.
Now let's see how international students contribute to their home countries. International students sure help a lot when it comes to the economy of the host countries, thanks to their tuition fees and all. But students also contribute in plenty of other ways. First, having people from all over the world make the social life and culture rise in terms of diversity. It's also awesome because when you have international students, some of them can make themselves very useful by bringing innovation thanks to their own knowledge in the fields they have chosen, and even bring new perspectives to those fields or to the ways of teaching of the universities and classes. Getting enrollments from many international students added to the native students in all the different courses is great because it avoids the number of demands in those fields to go down. But international students also contribute to soft power. If we take the case where the students go home for the holidays, naturally, the first thing that they will do is to talk to their friends or family about the university. And by doing that, it's like if they were promoting it. And that's one way how university's popularity come to increase over the years.
Regarding the visa, you don't need one if you come to visit the country for less than 180 days. But if you come for more than that, like for your studies for example, you will need a visa. To obtain one, you will need to complete a visa application form. You must also present a proof of residence and a copy of your passport. And after, you just have to wait.
And finally, when you'll be applying in the University of Mexico, they will probably ask you to provide some documents such as your identity card, recommendation letters from past teachers, a curriculum, or even forms showing that you can stay in the country during your studies. Also, since it is international universities, the university asks minimum language requirements which will be proved by a language certificate. And of course, don't forget to apply in advance because some of their universities have application deadlines. So now, if you need help or if you have any questions, do not hesitate to send us a mail at themexicocollegeuniversity@gmail.com or message us on our Instagram, MCU Finder. It was a pleasure to help and thank you for listening.